Hi again, I'm Jim Healy at Rooted in Love. Back when I was the director of the Office of Family Ministry, I'd get a lot of calls from marriage counseling, and it seemed to me that the calls from the wives were a little bit different than the calls from the husbands. Here'd be a more typical call from the wife. Um, I don't know, we're getting stale. I think we need a refresher course. We need to talk together better. We need to have somebody that kind of helps us to get back on track. Okay? Now, here's possibly a little more likely call from the husband. She's gone! Or she wants a divorce! With a lot of variation, it seems to me like the women tended to call early in the game and the guys tended to call late in the game. And I'm wondering why that was. Well, some of the research suggests that when a guy's losing it in a marriage, he's like a clock that starts to run slower. He kind of stops dropping the ball with different responsibilities. He gets more vague about his life and about his feelings. And if you're paying attention, you can kind of pick up those signs. Now, with the woman, it seems like she might be a little bit more like a car. You know how even if you've got this much gas, you can still go 60 miles an hour. You can go full speed until you're completely out of gas. And then you don't just slow down, you stop. Well, women tend to be better at multitasking and keeping all the responsibilities of life going. And it's a little bit easier to miss the signs because it looks like they're coping with everything, okay? And especially if you're a guy who tends to be a little more hyper focused on one thing, it's easy to miss the cues. So, whether we're men or women, or whether we have this tendency or that, because there's a lot of overlap, what's the lesson that we can learn from that? Well, don't wait for the gas tank to go empty. Top off the tank, okay? Or at least keep it 3/4 full. Okay? And what's the easiest way to do that? Well, think back to what you used to do that you really enjoyed doing together and for some reason stopped, and talk about doing it again. Tell your spouse that you miss it. Okay? We tend to know what gas works best for our car. Another metaphor that some people use is keep your emotional bank account full. Don't get overdrawn. Well, God bless you, and please consider subscribing to this channel.